All right, welcome back to the Built to Grow podcast. I'm your host, Tim Lyons, in the studio in Scottsdale, Hot Zona, Arizona, joined by Randy Angston. What's up, man?
How we doing? We're almost through it. Almost there. Almost there.
Yep, we're actually heading to Palm Springs, California this week for the Iron Circle experience. Can't wait to do it. The entire weekend's going to be full of leadership and employee development, disc assessments, and comedy, magic, and lucha libre wrestling at the casino. Should be a good time. It will be. What do you mean should?
These are some of my favorite weekends of the year.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, we run a mastermind called the Iron Circle. It is I would call it the top 1% of the industry are in this group. If you want more information, it's ironcircle.net. However, we host Iron Circle experiences a couple times a year. We rent out big mansions. We fly in major speakers. We network. We solve problems. We have good time, and we have feasts.
All the good stuff.
Fit for kings.
Yes, we eat very well, that's for sure.
Yeah, we bring our own chef, Chef Dave. Mm-hmm. He's just been upgraded. I just got the menu the other day.
Ooh.
It's insane.
Good.
Lobster tail, filet mignon, crab lump, all the goodies.
As it should be.
All right, so we've got a great episode today. So you've heard this saying a million times: do what you do best and outsource the rest. And I would say that's not all the way true. It's not. I don't agree with that 100%.
Sure.
I mean, obviously, on paper, it's like, well, do what you do the best and don't try to learn all these other things. Just outsource that stuff. And I would still argue that you shouldn't be doing things that don't make you money.
Yeah.
Even if you're great at them. For example, maybe you grew up in a, maybe your dad was a equipment rep for a major fitness facility or company, global brand, and you were just worked side by side and you were fixing equipment and stuff, and that's what you're great at. I still would argue, don't go out and be the person fixing your treadmills and your equipment and all that stuff.
As a gym owner.
As a gym owner. Yeah. I mean, I'm speaking to gym owners.
Yes, correct.
Obviously get a maintenance agreement with an equipment vendor, or maybe, we use a company called, we used to be called Farmers. I think it's called something else, Farmers Fitness. Anyways, hey, we got a squeaky treadmill, or we got a cable that breaks or something like that on the equipment. They'll come in and fix that stuff, Yeah. And then you can have maintenance agreements. Like maybe you're great at repairing HVAC. That was what you grew up doing your whole life, and you went to school for it. I would argue you still shouldn't be the one up on the roof doing the AC repairs, right?
Yeah, and before somebody starts throwing shade at the fact that, when you don't have any dollars in the bank and you don't, there's a need at some point, sure, you might have to, and I'm not saying go do things that are, technically sound and advanced that are beyond your level. I'd put my flag in the ground and say don't repair a damn piece of equipment in your gym because of the liability. But when it comes to having to choose where you're spending time versus money in the beginning, there are certain things sometimes you just end up having to do. That's not what we're saying here. We're saying it's the choice to go back, the choice to continue to spend your time as the guy in your gym that's repairing the equipment, as the guy who's going to jump on the roof and go do the AC unit when it breaks, simply because you can, not because you have to.
As the guy that teaches that class because you want to save $20.
Exactly.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And really the point of this episode isn't that. The point is time.
Time. Yep.
Time's the only thing you can't get back. You can always make more money. You can't get back time. So how do you spend your time is what this episode's about. Mm-hmm. How you spend your time, if we were to do an audit, right, which we do, and Randy was to analyze the time spent, he could tell you where your priorities are in your business.
Yeah.
And if on that sheet there's scrolling Facebook, or there's training clients, or there's running to Costco for equipment or office supply, office supplies or toilet paper or whatever, your time isn't been spent on growing the business. And I think as the owner, as the visionary of the operation, you need to be the strategist on a lot of stuff, but you also need to be the vision and the captain of the ship. Where are we going? If you're in the gym, training training clients, fixing equipment, going to Costco, like that, to the team, it's like, oh, well, this is status quo. We're just doing the things to do the job.
Yep.
But if you're out there and say you're learning Facebook marketing and you're researching your competitors, and maybe you're like, okay, creating a program in your gym that will fulfill on a bigger need in your market that maybe is golfers or something, that you're creating this, and then you have a game plan that you divulge to the team. The team then can get behind the vision and be like, yeah, this is a hell of an idea, and they builds momentum, right? And that whole thing about momentum and entrepreneurship and everything that we have talked a million times about. So as the owner, the visionary, you need to be spending your time on things that will generate the revenue. And yes, creating a marketing campaign is going to create revenue. But so is calling a client that the credit card expired and you need to get the payment because they're 2 weeks behind. Like, that's also making money because you're collecting the revenue. But like, you could outsource that too,
Sure.
right? To an admin or something. And so that's really the point, right? Where are you spending your time? Is it on visionary, income-producing activities? What's the name of this podcast? Money-making activities. And too often, when we see it, and gosh, I go back to this one post. A good friend, like, I'm pretty sure he still owns a gym. I don't know. He was repairing the treadmill, and we're like, no. They would it made me. I wanted to delete it for him.
Yeah,
like, he was so excited that he fixed his own treadmill that he saved the $50 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I was like, no.
To that point, though, we're using time and we're using the activities. I mean, it's about the value your time is worth, right? The value you as the visionary of the business, you as the business owner, you have things on your plate, like the vision of the business, that cannot be fulfilled by somebody else in that organization. That's what Tim's getting at, is you need to set aside and force your calendar so that your time is spent on those money-making, income-producing activities, not finding yourself on the training floor fulfilling training in your business. There are tasks and functions of the business that have to happen in order to fulfill our promise to our consumer. Can that be done by a member of your team? A system like automation? That's how you, as a business owner, buy your time back. You get your time back, and that's the reason the audit's important. Once you have clarity on where your time is being spent, automate, delegate, eliminate, and then fill those times with income-producing activities. I promise you, your time and your impact in your business just skyrocketed. And sometimes it is some of the creative process that takes time, right? There isn't a direct understanding of what an hour worth of understanding your competitors, the whole in the marketplace provides, right? Yeah. But once you have that system or that process implemented into the business and your team can fulfill on it, that's where the money is when the money is being made. But it has to start with the vision first. And quite often, to Tim's point, we work with business owners that are every day spending the time fulfilling the services that their business has sold, but nobody's steering the ship.
Yeah,
that's dangerous.
And there's a gym owner out there right now being like, no, I'm not training clients. Yeah. I'm great at it. I love doing it. If it gives me energy, the clients love me. Nobody's going to do it as good as me. I can't find anybody anyway. Like, all those things are going through your head right now. And you're like, no, these guys are full of shit. No, I am the trainer. I'm the head trainer. I'm the best trainer. Just know, sure, you can. You're making a conscious decision not to grow your business.
I was just going to say the same thing. You're a phenomenal trainer, but you're a lousy business owner, and that's okay. But you better
find somebody to drive the ship.
I was just going to say, you need a CEO of your own business, or maybe selling your business and being a full-time trainer is the actual decision you need to make, because you're not taking the risk of the four walls and the responsibilities of paying everybody else and keeping the lights on and all of that. Your focus then can be narrowed, and you can spend your full energy and effort and time on the thing that you do best. But it's not growing your business.
I've seen founders of businesses hire CEOs.
Absolutely.
To run, because they just know they're not good at it. And so, just so you know, yes, that is a decision, but you're making a decision not to continue to grow your business, I guess, proactively. So you need to backfill that with somebody else, or backfill the coach, right? So it's like one or the other. Now, great story. We got an Iron Circle member. He joined at our last Growth Summit. 15-year phenomenal technician, phenomenal trainer. I mean, you look at the guy, he's like freaking shredded, you know, like he measures every grain of rice.
Yeah.
You know, like this is life.
Yeah.
And he'll never change that part of his own life. Now, he had a great business. I mean, got to congratulate the guy. It was well over $40,000 a month. And he had really, to his own admission, no business skill sets. And
Sure.
he was just doing it based on helping people, working his ass off, you know, and he had some people in the gym that were independent trainers and his wife in there. And, you know, they did a lot of things right.
Yeah.
But he knows, and he's doing it right now. If he needs to, this is he said, this is a hobby. This isn't a business. I can't go anywhere. I have to program every client's thing. I'm the person doing it. And so we're working with him and his wife, and what's going to happen is they're going to double their business and have 10 times more time.
Isn't it amazing?
It is amazing. It's awesome. But like, to the point where I was saying, like, there's a gym owner right now that is like him and her, that it's a hobby. Like, and he said it. They both said it. It's like, it's a hobby. I need to change my mentality, because if I don't come in tomorrow, if I don't program these clients' programs tonight, the business isn't going to operate. So he is 100% self-employed, and he's making conscious changes right now. And I think it's amazing.
Well, to that point, we work with gym owners and have for years that have been in the business 10, 15, 20, 30 plus years that are still in that seat. And I think that the realization and that mental shift that takes place will happen in time. So if you are that gym owner that's, you know, firm in your stance that you need to be the guy delivering the service and to all the things Tim just said, that may be true for you today. But as a business owner, give it 5 years. Give it 10 years. When you're still showing up, doing the same thing for relatively the same amount of money, 10 years into your own business, right now is your opportunity to make a different choice so that you aren't in that seat in 10 years. And understand, only one of these situations, you have to do the fulfillment. You have to. The other end, when you're in the position and you've got the ducks in a row and the business is built, you have the choice of still going and shaking hands and kissing babies. You can still have a couple clients that you want to work with. You can drop in any session and coach with your coach. You're a business owner with a choice. That's our, you know, lifeline. That's what we're tossing out. We don't want you to be in a position where you have to be doing these things down the road. Instead, have a business that can provide and fulfill. And then you have the choice of where in the business you get to operate.
You nailed it. I think it's an age thing.
It definitely comes with,
you know, and there comes a point in time that, you're going to look at the last 15 years of your business, look ahead 10, 15 years and be like, if I don't change something now, I'm going to be in here
till the grave,
till I die.
Yeah.
And hell, there's some people that know that and still choose to do it. And that's great. Like, that's what you want to do till you die. Awesome. I tell you what, man, at 55 years old, I don't want to be in here and train anybody. I want to be enjoying the fruits of thy labor, right?
The years of effort.
The years of risk, the years of stress, the years of sleepless nights, the years of figuring it out on the fly. All of that needs to pay off some point. Like, you've signed, I mean, how many personal guarantees are you going to sign? Because every time you renew your lease or take a loan or whatever the hell you're doing in your business that you got to do, every time you do that, like, there's a chunk of you that gets thrown into that pen and it's given away to the whatever
to the lords of money.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, and you got to get paid off at some point for taking all those risks. At one point, you know.
Yeah, you know, we should probably do a whole podcast on it. Like, I don't understand why there's a belief that we provide with what we provide in health and wellness that it has to be done at a detriment. You know what I mean? Like,
to the owner.
To the owner, or to exactly. Like, why can't both parties be happy when that agreement is signed and both parties win?
I think it's a mindset, man. Because like when we were at our Iron Circle event, gosh, when was it? It might have been Sundance, where nobody was posting about them being in this amazing house, learning from amazing presenters, growing the business, on a mission to make more financially. not one gym owner was willing to post what they were doing for fear of their clients seeing that and not liking it. Blew my mind.
Yeah.
Still to this day. And there's some of you out there right now that you just got a new truck and you can't post it, you can't share it because your fear that your clients will look at you and be like, oh, look at this highfalutin gym owner here, boy. He's making too much money, and I don't want to support that. And I'd rather him struggle. And I'd rather him be mopping them floors than him getting a brand new vehicle on my dime. What kind of attitude is that? And it happened here, and it blew my mind because some of the women that I heard the loudest were business owners in their own rights, successful, very wealthy business owners. And the day it was a couple months into making this transition out of the operations and into ownership, where I wasn't mopping the floors anymore. I wasn't at the gym every day. I wasn't taking the trash out, and I wasn't there from sun up till sundown like I had done for the previous 10 years. And I got flack for it. I had people leave the gym and quit because I, the owner of the operation, were not in the seat anymore. And I just threw my hands up like two middle fingers, like, if that's the way you feel, I'm happy to get the hell out of here. You don't support us. And their reasoning was, this doesn't feel like a mom and pop business anymore, and I don't want to support. Okay, well, fuck off. You know what I mean? Like, honestly,
but that same clientele goes right to Starbucks and goes right to Best Buy and goes right to, you know what I mean?
I cared 30 seconds about it, and it was over because I knew that it blew my mind. But this is the reason why people won't post and stuff like this, was for fear. And this was a long-term group of women.
Well, let's five of them. Let's extrapolate on that though for a second, because gym owners that are listening might not know the difference between what happened then, or where you were then, and where you are now. Right? As a business owner, look at the opportunity that you have because of those things, like the decision to move into a true owner role in the business. Profit. Right, we talked about that a little bit. That kind of helped bridge that gap, almost force some of that. But then, you know, we've doubled down here, and now we've spent our time educating the entire industry when it comes to gym ownership. We've then gone on, you know, the real estate and all those things. If you let a couple people's opinions put you back into the mopping of the floor and the delivery of the business, you'd be in that same seat here today. And that's what, how many years ago now?
When I made that decision, it was probably 2017. 2017. So what is that? 7 years ago? Yeah. A lot has changed in 7 years.
Yeah. But that might not have, had you let some of that noise dictate that belief that 30 seconds had 30 minutes of. And
then 30 days and 30 more years. Because, and it's funny because they owned businesses, and I was like, man, do they really not want to see me do well?
Yeah.
Crabs in the bucket mentality. Even successful people still have that same mindset. So you as a gym owner, you have a decision to make, honestly. Like, what, you going to let some chatter? When we moved all that equipment out of the first gym, and we had like people grabbing onto the hack squat and like dragging it while we're dragging out the door, like, oh, I'm going to quit. Like, okay. You have to be selfish, honestly. You have to, and being selfish is not a bad word.
No.
Being selfish is I guess dubbed as a bad word. Oh, he's selfish. Damn right I am. You have the permission to be selfish. In fact, it is your obligation to be selfish. If you give to everybody else and leave nothing for yourself, you're going to die broke, poor, or the same thing. Unhealthy, you're not taking care of yourself, and miserable. Like, it's your obligation, because the more money that you make, the more lives you can change. You can give away all your money if you want. Like, if that makes you feel good,
absolutely, then
do it. But like, there's what's the word? There's no like, not loyal. Like, there's no being broke is not a virtue. Like, it's not. It's absolutely not. You should be very wealthy. You should make as much money as possible, because then you can do whatever you want with it. Like, there's no reason to struggle every day.
Yep.
when there's answers out there. And don't make those decisions to struggle because of the worry that somebody's going to look at you, think that you're successful and not like it. Well, good. Don't like it. Go be successful yourself. Maybe this will kick you in the ass to go be successful.
One of the things that after working, with gym owners and just the trainers and everybody in that relationship, right? Client to facilitator, it is amazing how loyal gym owners will be to their clients. And I'd say 99% of the time, they don't give a shit about you.
It's pretty funny.
I mean, like I see gym owners get burned daily with these types of things, and they go back and they repeat the same bad habits of thinking that the relationship is more than the agreement that you both signed. Like, I'm not saying be cold in your business and be inauthentic and don't have the relationships with the people in your community. Like, all of that's a plus, but that is not what they're necessarily like. That's not the transaction, right? If one client has an opinion that's going to change the direction of your business and you decide that you're going to heed their caution, even though it's, the value of what you can earn is multiples of what that person's ever going to pay you in the history of their time with you, why the hell are you weighing all of it on something that's worth maybe a couple $1,000s over the history of your relationship when this could make you hundreds of thousands of dollars this freaking year? You know what I mean? So,
well, I got a great story. We had a client that, they were in this thing called foundations, and what foundations was like a active adult. They would pay a little bit less. It was when we were doing boot camps and classes and
almost
stuff.
Like I think like Silver Sneakers is globally known towards that. Like,
yeah, we were catering to this older demo, and we had a bunch of them, and they were very nice people.
Awesome,
very nice people. Even this one particular guy, Sam, that was a member at my gym at the first location. He, here we are in this other location, and we have this client. We had to make a decision. We were getting rid of boot camp. We had to get rid of foundations.
Yeah.
Because I needed to replace that with semi-private training.
Yes.
And for a long time, we made sure that they understood what was happening, and they had the opportunity to upgrade.
Yep.
They could stay. We're just going to be doing something different during these hours. And, they did it. They couldn't afford it. I get it. They're on a fixed income. And, look, I've kind of felt bad, because my mom and stuff knew all these folks, and they were training together for years.
Oh, every day Sam would say hi.
Nicest people.
Yeah.
Well, we made it very clear, hey, this pains us to do it. We got to do it. I had to. And whatever, and we understood if they couldn't do it, and we would wish them the best, and we would help them find another location, and whatever.
And we're talking like a fraction of the clientele here, guys, not... you know what I mean? The decision wasn't like we're cutting off a quarter of the clients at the gym or something. It was, we're probably talking, what, 3%?
A dozen clients or something. And it was known it was going to end on this date, and they kind of trickled off and disappeared, and everything I thought was fine and whatever. And I got a nasty letter in the mail, like a handwritten, he bashed me. And dude, this was a nice guy.
Oh, yeah.
We put up what was that, a menorah? Mm-hmm. He's a Jewish guy. We're all Christmas here. We threw a menorah up for my man. We put it out there. He was a Jewish guy.
Yeah.
Let's celebrate that too for him.
Yeah.
He wrote me a scathing letter, and he said something in there I'll never forget. He says, normally, Tim, blah, 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 I'd wish you the best of luck, but I wish you nothing of like that.
Wow.
He wanted me to fail because of the decision to pull foundations out of the program lineup, and he couldn't afford it anymore.
Yeah.
He wished me bad luck.
That's insane.
And wow. He could have not written anything, but he wanted to make sure that he heard. I heard him.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Whatever. I laughed. I threw it in the trash. I moved on with my damn day.
Yeah.
It's going to hurt me. This was a very calculated decision. I thought long and hard, and lost a lot of sleep over. My mom bashed the hell out of me when I told her about it.
Yeah.
You can't do that to those clients. They've been supporting you for years. Yeah, I can, Mom. It's my business, and I'm making this decision consciously.
But at the end of the day, as a business owner too, you hit it earlier. When you have more, you have the ability to give more and provide more. Those 12 clients were taking up the room for exponentially more clients to walk through the doors just based on the amount of time that they were trained, right?
Yep.
If 12 of them were there, you could probably do 36 additional clients to the business. That's how many more lives helped.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Just because of something like
I'm
that.
not
I mean,
gonna
there's a
sweat,
million.
but I got blown up, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it is what it is, and it'll happen to you. But that's not the reason. That's not a reason to not do something.
No.
You're gonna have people not happy. Like, you can't make everybody happy.
One
like,
of
just,
the most.
Just look at the music that you're playing in your gym. You can't make everybody happy. If that's not the best example, I don't know what is. You know what I mean?
Oh God, yeah, absolutely. One of the greatest lessons Andy Frisella I've ever taken from him was aim for 49%. Stop shooting for 100%.
Trying to cater to the masses.
Yeah, catering to everybody. 49% is all you need in any market to do extremely well. At 50%, you've now devalued something that 49% are dying for, right? Like semi-private here, right? If we had half of those sessions catered to boot camp, we were now devaluing our mission and the one thing that we're really freaking good at. So rather than try and appease everybody by devaluing the 49 that will die for you, get really freaking clear on what the 49 need, provide, and when your business is catered around that, you're never going to have an issue whatsoever. But every time you hear noise from somebody who ends up being one of the other 51%, you got to take that with.
And a lot of times you don't hear the noise. You make up the decision in your head that you're thinking they're gonna say something. And even if they do, do it anyway. If it makes sense, like, do it. So stop being scared, guys. It is, look, I've got a million stories. I can't imagine if I had like 20 locations in 15, over 15 years, how many more stories I'd have. But we have a whole episode on the craziest shit that happened in the gym. That was wild. We had like fist fights. We've had murderers come through the gym, and the marshals, U.S. Marshals, like tracking this guy into my gym. Like at the time, it was wild. I mean, I have a great story. I got ex-NFL athletes. We got the whole families. We got hockey Hall of Famers. We've got NBA Hall of Famers, NFL Hall of Famers. All of them. Yeah. Playboy models that cheated with Trump. They were members of my gym.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, we should do it maybe we should remind everybody of the story. Like, tons of stories. But again, going back to the decisions on what you need to do in your gym, it needs to be for the best interest of you, gym owner.
Growing the business is the way that you benefit the greatest at the end of the day.
Be selfish. It's a good word. You should have that tattooed on your inner arm, on the bicep. Selfish. Because it's not a bad, it's your obligation to be selfish. And everybody's gonna be like, well, what do you? No, you know what? I'm not Mother Teresa. That's her job. If she's still alive, I don't know. Let her be that giving, unselfish person. I'm a capitalist, a business owner. If we don't make money, the employees don't make money. We can't help we close the doors, and I'm living on the streets. Is that what I want to do? No. So anyways, be selfish. Hopefully that helps. Change your mindset. Let somebody else be Mother Teresa. Until next episode, keep changing lives. See you on the next show. Bye.
All right, and thank you for listening to that episode of the Built to Grow podcast, where we help gym owners win. Now, do you want to connect with me and other gym owners online? All you need to do is join our private Facebook group, Business Talk with Fitness Professionals. Just head on over to Facebook and type in Business Talk with Fitness Professionals, and when you do, we're going to give you our 10 marketing strategies 7-figure gym owners use to win. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Until then, keep building something great.